Okay, so there was a little hiccup with the importing the step file once you have it downloaded. In 2018, the default is set to Interconnect to create a link back to the step file. So what you need to do is before you tell it to open that step file is come up to the options, come down to import, enable the 3D interconnect, and then my OK button is just off the screen here, so I'm going to hit enter. And then what that should do is when we come over to open, and I'm picking the step file. Also make sure that your all files, that it doesn't say SolidWorks or part assembly drawing. If it doesn't say step, then preference would be to have it just list all files. All right, so once we hit open, it's going to go through and it's going to find those surfaces and it's going to generate the error that the video should show or was showing. And we'll let it do its thing here. So it's finding a lot of information. All right, so the interconnect says that we'll retain the step file. If the step file is updated, changed, or otherwise, then the model will update accordingly. For this exercise, for our geometry, we really wanted to just have this be a list of the items. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and probably going to ask me to close all of them. Okay, so that was what you're supposed to do. If you see something like this, I'm going to go back into the options, pick the import, enable the 3D interconnect. Notice that everything kind of grays out. It doesn't really give you the option. So it's coming in, even though that file had that gap, that error, it's coming in with that error. It says, I don't care, have the geometry, make it work. All right, so we're still in all files. I'm going to pick the step file. Now, in reading the model going through this process, it's not doing all of the parsing. It's just defining, resolving the model geometry, and it's going to bring it in its entirety. All right, so we have the assembly. It's not asking me about any part files. So it creates a top-level assembly, and then the sub-assembly with the green arrow says that it is related back, has that external reference back to the original step file. And then each of the files are going to be fixed in location and have references back as well. All right, so that's the kind of the undesirable. In most circumstances, that would be fine if we were just going to put this into use. If I wanted to be able to move it and manipulate the geometry, then we have another bit of an issue with the step file. So I'd probably still end up dissolving it. So right-clicking at that top-level subassembly, if I dissolve the feature, then we're going to break the link, and it warns me it can't be undone. So if I overwrite the step file, I change geometry and write it to a new step file, this now does not update because little green arrows are gone. And to make this movable, pretty much like the where you'll pick up the video from here, if I were to set these to float, and I missed something there, let's do a select, hold down the shift button, right click, and it's either just off the screen or I'm missing it. And I'm not seeing my floats. All right, let's try again, make sure it's here. Oh, I'm not in the subassembly. Let's try that. Open the subassembly. Now we'll do the shift select, right click, and float. And what that does, well, aside from the video card having its little blink here, is once they're floating, now these move independent of each other. All right, we can go through and we can set up the types of mates and references that we need to show this. So again, that was go to the options. Before you import this file, make sure that your enable 3D interconnect is turned off, unchecked. and then load the file.